When I built this rack, I talked about being able to use it on the boat as a storage rack and to use it to carry kayaks in the back of a truck. So today, I'm going to show you how I put this rack into that truck. In case you're wondering about the sweatshirt, 60 degrees. It's winter in Florida. Okay, so you can kind of see what we did here. We have our straps going from here all the way around. We crossed over that middle cross member just to keep the strap out of the way. Came back over to this point, did the same thing in the back. Now by adjusting the straps, we can move this forward or backwards. Okay, so if we wanted to go back a little more, tighten up on that strap, loosen up on this strap. Now these straps that I used, these are my 20-foot straps. So you can see I have plenty of extra for the front, but the back we pretty much used up the whole thing, only because the rack is more toward the back. Well, let's put a kayak on here and see what it looks like. Looks like it fits, but you can see why I have the rack toward the back. Now, in reality, I could actually move this rack all the way out onto the tailgate, and again I would do that just by adjusting those straps, but that keeps us with the, we still got about 2 feet sticking out. At this point, you would just have to secure the kayak into the rack. Now, I'll show you how we do that. All right, so we got the kayaks on here, our spider web of straps. I had to make a few adjustments. One of the things was our plan was to use the scupper as a pin, okay, and then use this front for another hold down. So this right here is a 2x4, which actually I wasn't going to use, but it works really well. So if you look down, you can see this fits between the kayaks and this pipe. So this will make it so the kayaks cannot go forward. This one back here fits between the scupper and this pipe. This keeps the kayaks from going backwards. So if we pull these out, pull this one out, now the kayaks are going to be free to move forward and backwards, but that's what you want when you want to take them off. Now the only other straps that are holding these kayaks on are this strap, which is actually very loose, because that just comes up through the handles. Have it come down so we can have our flag on it. That's just the safety. You know, if you're ever being followed by the police or something and they said, hey, you got no straps on the kayak because you can't see the middle straps, it's good to have this one on. And then our middle strap. So we'll go ahead and we'll undo this strap. Get that one out of the way. I just made a hole through this piece of red material. I've used that, it's been my flag for a little while now. So we pull that one off. Now the next one is this one. Now this one just goes under the bar and up through the handholds and across the top of the kayak. Now that's the one that's really holding these things in. It's not really letting it come too far forward and too far back when the pins are in. So this whole thing works as a system. So you wouldn't want to just throw the kayaks on and throw that band on and go, because these things can still slide a little bit. Yeah, they got the space in the handle. But if it's pinned as well, it's not going to move. Now, one word about these pins. You see that hole? We're going to run a bungee through that hole. And if we do decide to use a 2x4, we'll drill a hole through this as well. But our plan was to use a piece of 3-inch pipe to go down that hole and set it up the same as that with a bungee. So you get to where you're going, you take the one strap off, you come over here. I'm trying to do this with one hand. This one's not going to be as easy because I got the pin in the way. I'm going to have to put you down for a second. This one I got to pull it all the way through because it's got to fit through the handles. So this one you can, if you have a shorter strap, be a little bit easier. But there, that's undone. Come over here. Simply pull our straps through. Now you're ready to grab the kayak and go. So the advantage of this rack is I can now carry 3 kayaks on this boat. I mean, 3 kayaks on the truck, and not have to worry about stacking them on top of each other. And you know, one of the things I've always worried about is these little risers, which I don't have on all of them, but these are to hold the seat. It makes it easier if you're going to adjust the level of the seat. these things, when you have these kayaks just laying in here, they tend to push against the bottom. So you don't want to break this and you don't want to break that. You definitely don't want to punch a hole in your hull. So the rack keeps everything separated nicely. Easy to load. Once it's loaded, it's 2 straps. Drop my 2 pins down with the bungee cords. I got 3 kayaks on here. Now, I know you might be thinking I just throw my kayaks in the back of the truck and throw a bungee cord over top of them or throw a strap over top of them and I'm good to go. These, right now, to replace these kayaks, I think is around $1,700 a piece. So if I had 3 of them in the back of this truck, I don't want them getting damaged, which is the reason I built the rack. So we'll see if I ever make a video about how my kayaks fell off the truck. Then I wouldn't recommend this rack. But until then, yeah, I think this is going to work out pretty well for us. Okay, we've shown you 2 different uses for this kayak rack. One is on the boat, the other one is right here on the back of the truck. Now there are 2 other uses for this kayak rack that we know of. You may have even come up with some more. But one of the other ones is storage. If you want to store your kayaks in the garage, if you want to store them in the yard, you can easily put 3 kayaks on here. And if you were keeping them outside, I would run a chain through the kayaks just to slow somebody down. You're not going to prevent a thief if they want them. They're going to get them. But the other thing is, with this kayak rack down on the ground, the top rung is the perfect height for if you're going to work on your kayak. So if you're going to add trolley lines or do any kind of modifications to the kayak, it does work out well for that, and you're going to see some future videos where we do just that. So I want to thank you for watching. Be sure to like the video. If you know somebody that has a kayak and a truck, share the video, let them see it too, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps us out. Thanks a lot. See you next time.